AFCON isn't around the corner. It is here. The Nigerian Super Eagles will be taking on Tanzania on the 23rd of this month. So Tuesday, keep your eyes peeled on this channel for more content, reactions to the game, reactions to other games the Nigerian Super Eagles will be playing at the AFCON. But in this video, I will bring to you 4 things I think that Nigerian Super Eagles should do in that game versus Tanzania if they have intentions of winning that game. What Eric Chelle should do if he has any intention of winning that game versus Tanzania. So let's dive straight into it. Now, when you look at teams like Tanzania, a lot of Nigerian football fans will say, oh, any team we put out there, we should be able to beat them. Who do they have? Who do they have played in any top European league? Who do they have playing in any of the top leagues in Africa? Who are they? And things like that. And be sometimes utterly dismissive, sometimes too dismissive, in my humble opinion. Teams in Africa are getting stronger. Teams in Africa are beginning to enrich their squads with world nationals and players from the domestic league and everywhere. And teams are becoming more confident coming up against the supposed big boys like teams like Nigeria. Because in those games, they know, even if we draw, we still have a good result. All the media, everyone will say you've got a good result, and that would give a team like Tanzania confidence going into future games, right? But for a team like Nigeria, you draw against Tanzania, then immediately, instantly, you're giving a rod for your own back, and then your confidence is down. You go against a team like Tunisia. If they win their game against Uganda, then you begin to chase them before the competition even goes anywhere. Not to talk about all the talk of after the group stages, the knockout phases, how losing to Tanzania, how finishing maybe second would affect your seeding and the team you have to play in those knockout rounds. So for me, first thing that Nigeria should do, and this starts at the table of Eric Chelle, which is, it may seem mundane, it may seem pedestrian to say, it may seem very obvious, and that is play players in their natural position. Stop being a scientist, be a coach. Stop being a chemistry teacher, stop being a chemist, be a coach. Be a coach. Stop fiddling about players like that. Some chemical combinations. They are football players. Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, if you want to play him in that 6 role. If you want to play a 2-man midfield, you play him alongside maybe Tochukwunadi, or I don't know if this is what you want to do, but play him in his rightful position. To Chizara Ejuke, if you want to play him, we'll see what he can do on that left wing. Play him there. We don't want to see him as second striker. No experiments. Why I'm saying, a lot of people say, oh, you're just saying this because of the game versus Egypt. No, we've seen it in a serious game. We've seen it in a game that actually matters. We saw it in that playoff final. All this talk about Congo qualifying, Nigeria qualifying, eligible players wouldn't have been a thing if, for one thing, if players were played in a rightful position, if that game wasn't mucked about with. We also saw it in the game versus South Africa. We saw players being played out of position for no apparent reason. So going into this game with Tanzania, we shouldn't see players being played out of position. Play them in their actual favored position, so they will play well. And if they don't play well, you then can judge them based on the fact that I played Ademola Lookman as a left winger, he didn't play well. I played Chizara Ejuke as a winger, he didn't play well. I played Victor Osimhen as a striker, he didn't play well. But I bet you play those players in the rightful position. That's the first step, to win that game versus Tanzania. Now, the second thing is do not take Tanzania for granted. Don't start that game thinking, oh well, it's just Tanzania, we're the big boys, we've got Victor Osimhen, the best striker in Africa, we've got players playing in the Serie A, we've got players playing in the Premier League, we've got players playing all over the world. So no, it's still 11v11. You must take that game seriously. That's the second part of it. You must take that game seriously. Then this now falls back on Eric Chelle. Stick to the tactics that has been working for you. The 4-2-2-2 formation, however you came about it, and it worked. So you go undefeated in that World Cup qualifying round, the first phase, and then in the semi-finals, it saw you breeze past Gabon, and then what did you go to do? You changed it in the final. And this friendly game, you went and you mucked about with it again. So going into that game versus Tanzania, you have to stick to the formation that works, stick to the formation that the players are beginning to get acclimatized to, and stop to overly tweaking and tinkering with the formation. In my humble opinion. Now, I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are on things we've said so far about this, about the Tanzania game. What do you think we should do? And for me, the last bit is figure out a way to get Victor Osimhen the ball. Figure out a way to create chances to score goals. Now, this may seem obvious. This may seem, why are you saying this? I've got to say it because in the game versus Congo, in the game, I think, was it Lesotho at some point, it was just, let's hoof the ball, and we know Victor Osimhen is going to run like a workhorse, and maybe he latches onto the ball and scores goals. In the game versus South Africa as well, we saw that long ball thing, and I don't have issues with long balls, but what is the objective of the team playing long balls? Because that game, you played Desas and someone who is not very good in the air, and you played long balls and it came to nothing. In the Congo game, you played long balls. There was no person coming close to the striker to see if they can get those balls that will drop off the striker when he's battling with the defender. Figure out a way to get your strikers the ball. Don't make them work like madmen, because Victor Osimhen, lots of games we see him running like an absolute lunatic. Not his fault, because he's aggressive. He wants to get the ball. He wants to score. So find a way to actually get him the ball. And I also say start on the front foot. Be aggressive on whether you're kicking off the game, pen them in their own half. If they are kicking off the game, you squeeze them up with your high pressing, squeeze them in their own half. Start aggressively, start positively. Don't give them any chance. So there are 4 things I think Nigerian Super Eagles should do if they intend to win the game versus Tanzania. Let me know your opinions in the comment section. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and even closer to the game there will be a preview and a prediction of the score prediction of the game, so stick around for that one. But right now, I'll see you on another video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye bye.